Hotel maid is brought to tears after pulling the sheets off new guest's bed. After all, this maid, we'll call her Alice, had been through some pretty tough times already. With just a few dollars to her name, Alice had been working one low-paying job after another just to make ends meet. So when Alice spotted a help-wanted sign in the window of a well-known Park City hotel, she jumped at the chance to make herself a little better off. Unfortunately, landing the job was no sure thing. Given Alice's lack of a work resume and little experience in hospitality, the hotel manager was skeptical about bringing her on board. Yet, like Alice, the manager wasn't exactly in a position to be selective. The hotel in question was known for attracting rowdy and unruly guests, and its rooms would often look like a tornado swept through them after each checkout. Things had actually gotten so bad that the previous housekeeper had quit. But even with the hotel's not-so-work-friendly reputation, Alice was confident she could handle anything these guests could throw at her. And so, the manager hired her, convinced she'd only last a few days. Boy, was she wrong. In a matter of a few weeks, Alice not only tackled the messy rooms with ease, but she'd also developed an entirely new organization system for the hotel. She even managed to wash an entire mountain of dirty laundry that had been piling up for months. Alice was clearly more capable at housekeeping than the hotel manager had first thought, and as business improved, she wished there was some way she could repay the hard-working maid. Unfortunately, the manager didn't have the resources to do so. That's when Kyle Arefis and Josh Gibson stepped in. Through their popular YouTube channel Givebackfilms, Kyle and Josh had made a name for themselves doing kindnesses for complete strangers. From low-wage workers to struggling families to even the homeless, the duo's generosity had already touched countless lives, and they were about to touch one more. When Kyle and Josh heard about Alice's story, they knew at once that she was more than deserving of a little goodwill. And so, in 2013, the pair reached out to the hotel manager, who excitedly agreed to help them out. Their plan was officially a go. Arriving at the hotel, Kyle and Josh entered the first room they found and immediately set to work. They started by setting up several hidden cameras at different angles throughout the space, unwilling to miss even 1 second of Alice's reaction. Next, they decided to mess up the room a bit, moving the furniture and pulling the sheets and pillows from the beds. In a place where untidiness was so common, anything less than a messy room would have seemed off to Alice. Finally, Josh scribbled something down on a piece of paper and tucked it alongside a little surprise Kyle had slipped under a sheet. With everything finally in and out of place, Kyle and Josh pulled the "Do Not Disturb" sign from the door and rushed outside. Crouched behind the seats of their van, the duo watched through the rear window in anticipation of the fateful moment Alice entered the room. They waited, breathless, until the handle turned and doors swung open. For a good few minutes, Alice simply went about tidying the room, pushing the furniture back into place, and laying fresh linens and towels. Then, she headed for the beds. Alice made quick work of the first bed, but as she lifted the sheets off the second, she froze. Speechless, Alice raised her hand to her mouth as the tears began to flow. She simply couldn't believe what she'd found. There, hiding beneath the sheets, was a line of $20 bills and the note, which read, "This is a tip. Enjoy." Instead of the usual $1 or $2 guests would occasionally leave behind, Alice had received a whopping $500 tip. Before Alice could even process what was going on, Kyle and Josh appeared and revealed the entire plan to her. Alice was overwhelmingly grateful for the duo's act of goodwill, though it was then that she opted to make a shocking admission. As much as she could have used the money, Alice explained that she just couldn't take it. Kyle and Josh were stunned, but after a little poking and prodding, it was clear that the humble housekeeper was just being modest. In the end, Alice decided to accept the generous tip, and a video of her tearful reaction has since garnered more than 8 million views on Givebackfilms' YouTube channel. There's something really cool about someone being genuinely happy, and it's exciting, Josh said of the response to the video.